Hello and welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host Frank Poulin, and today we're here at the lovely North Suffolk Library. We're going to be talking about all the great upcoming events, including a Love Our City event, which you can get involved in cleaning up your community, Black History Month events, and there's a ton of those, as well as Tidewater Reads, which is a regional partnership between all the regional libraries to help everyone get out and read this winter. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're here now with Angie Sumner, the marketing coordinator for the Suffolk Public Library System. Angie, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Now, we want to talk about a little bit about, you just had a big event here, right?
We did.
And it was about engaging Suffolk, correct?
Yes, so it was our Engage Suffolk community event, which was the launch of our year-long Engage Suffolk initiative.
All right, and that initiative, I guess, obviously, as the word implies, is to get citizens kind of engaged in their community, right?
Yeah, so whether it's somebody who just moved here or somebody who has lived here for their entire lives, we really want to provide them with the resources and information of different ways they can get involved in their city.
Okay, so this was kind of like a vendor fair, and there were speakers, right?
Yeah, so we had a community fair aspect where we brought in local organizations such as Healthy Suffolk, the Food Bank, Keep Suffolk Beautiful, where people could interact with them, get some more information, learn how they can get involved. We also had some volunteer opportunities and projects. So ways they could get involved with that, or if they're a teenager, earn volunteer hours for school.
Yeah, because that's always one of those things where, you want to volunteer, you want to help out in your community, but sometimes you don't really know where to start.
Yes, and there are a lot of opportunities in Suffolk.
Okay, and you don't realize that, kind of sitting at home, you think, okay, there's one organization here, but there's multiple organizations just in the city that you can get involved in.
Yes, and so many different types of organizations too.
Okay, and that's kind of what the fair was about, was making sure, you can connect a citizen with a certain organization and kind of let them fly and go volunteer, right? Okay, and it wasn't just, Healthy Suffolk, or it was a whole bunch of, there was the food bank, right?
Yes, we had the food bank, we had the League of Women Voters, so it ranged from more charitable to political, a wide variety of types of organizations.
So you could kind of pick and choose what your interests are, and then go and volunteer with them. That's excellent. And you said it's kind of a year-long initiative that Engage Suffolk?
Yes, we will have different large events, smaller events, different ways for people to keep that going and find different ways for them to get involved in the community.
So you're kind of giving them step one in the process.
Yes.
'Cause I noticed you're doing kind of yoga classes and like mixed fit.
So if people are looking for ways to get involved in fitness or being a little bit more healthy.
Start the year off, New Year's resolution?
Yes. Keep with it throughout the year. We usually do some sort of fitness program each quarter, whether it's yoga, Zumba, mixed fit, just to give them a little taste of what's out there, and then they can go to Parks and Rec.
You're not throwing a hardwood floor over there and you're doing basketball.
Yeah, so this is just to give them an idea of what it's like to see if it's something they want to continue on a regular basis.
That's excellent. And one of those things is coming up soon, right? And it's kind of the Love Our City event, I believe?
Yes, it's Love Our City Meetup and Cleanup. So we're partnering with Keep
Public
Suffolk,
Works Department?
Yes, Keep Suffolk Beautiful and Suffolk Litter Control.
Okay.
So we're focusing, at least on this one, for a in the downtown area.
Okay.
So we'll be meeting at the Morgan Memorial Library on Saturday, February 24th.
From 10 to 1.
From 10 to 1. So we're going to meet as a group there, and then we'll have a predetermined route.
Got it.
So we'll group
so you're not just scattering off into the streets of downtown.
We'll have some direction.
Okay.
And we're also providing everything you need, from litter grabbers to vests, trash bags. We have food and drinks available.
You're just going to have to show up.
Show up, wear comfortable shoes and clothes.
Make sure you check the weather. It could be 70 degrees. It could be 25.
Yes, be prepared. But we'll have you covered as far as all the supplies.
Oh, okay. And do you need to pre-register for the event, or?
No, you can just show up.
So it can be a single person or a group of
bring a group.
kids?
We'd love a whole group.
All right, that's awesome.
We'll be splitting you up into teams, so each team will have a different area.
Is it like a contest who gets more trash?
You can make it a contest if you want.
Well, that's cool.
Yep, it'll be a great way, too, for teens, again, who need to earn those community services hours. If they stay the whole time, that's 3 hours right there.
Yeah, and they get to know their city in the process.
Yeah.
And maybe meet some new friends.
Yep.
And it's in February, and as we know, February is Black History Month. And so you do have a bunch of ideas and classes kind of geared towards that.
Yes, we do. We recognize that Suffolk is very rich in history, and we really want to celebrate that during Black History Month. We actually had an event a few weeks ago to kind of kick it off. It was a Meet Frederick Douglass event.
Oh, that's cool.
So we brought in poet and performer Nathan Richardson. To the Paul DeCamp Community College, the Suffolk campus.
He's kind of in character as Frederick Douglass, right?
So he started out in character. He performed some of Frederick Douglass's speeches, and then he came out and kind of conversed and talked and answered questions from the audience.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And as you said, that kind of kicked it off. And now what's up next?
So next we are bringing in the Buffalo Soldiers, Buffalo Riders of Hampton Roads.
And that's a local organization?
Yes, the Buffalo Riders of Hampton Roads is the local organization. So we'll be doing a talk. The president of the organization, Ken Wright, will be coming in to talk a little bit about the history behind it and what they do currently.
That's cool. And that's kind of like a lecture series?
Yes, so that one will be more of a history talk, but I'm sure there'll be some engagement. You know, if you attend, you can ask questions, maybe even see how you can get involved.
Okay. But there are specific events geared towards kids, right, as well?
Yes, so we actually have 2 opportunities. We have a Black History Month project. So we'll have one at Morgan Memorial and one at North Suffolk Library. And so that one is geared towards kids to get them kind of involved and excited for the month. About learning, about...
They'll be doing a craft or...
Yeah, so they'll be getting hands-on. So that one's not so much a lecture.
An individual craft or a group craft or...
I think it's individual.
Okay, all right.
But they'll be for elementary age kids.
Okay.
So we'll be doing crafts with them.
Is that something you need to register for, or is that a show up? And
that one you can just show up
very
to.
Cool. Yeah.
So the more the merrier.
Yeah.
We want kids to get excited and learn a little bit more about the impact that different Black men and women and children have had on the community and worldwide.
Absolutely. Very good. And after that, speaking of in the community, we have Booker T. Washington kind of event.
Yes, so that one again is another kind of local spotlight on our history. So we're bringing in someone from the Alumni Association who will talk a little bit about the history behind the Booker T. Washington, the historic Booker T. Washington High School.
Okay. And now with these events, you're also doing a movie night, I see.
Yes, so most people have probably heard of the movie Loving, which came out just a couple years ago. So we'll be doing a free screening of that for those who would like to attend. That one is not so much local, but it is still Virginia history.
Very much so, yeah. And will that be here at North Suffolk, or is that Morgan?
That will be at Morgan Memorial.
That will be, okay. And do you guys put a big screen up, or how does that kind of work?
We do have
not just a bunch of little TVs?
No, it's not a little TV. We do have a big screen up.
Okay.
So we'll be in the meeting room for that and watching the movie.
Okay. And you got one last event, the History Talk and Exhibition?
Yes, so kind of wrapping it up, we're bringing back a popular local historian, Thurbia Parker. He's done a few things with us before, and people really enjoy listening to him talk.
Okay.
He has a wide collection of African American memorabilia.
Okay.
So he'll be bringing that in for an exhibit. The exhibit will be up the whole time from 11 to 3. But since we have so much interest in his talks, we're doing 2 sessions for his talks. So we're doing one at 11 and one at 2.
Oh, great.
So people can come to one or both of them.
They can do whatever fits in their schedule.
Yes.
Okay, well, so that's a whole range of events you kind of have for the month of February.
We do, yeah.
That's excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining me. And actually, we're going to be back with Angie in a moment. We're going to talk about Tidewater Reads. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're here now with Angie Sumner, the marketing coordinator for Suffolk Public Library, and Megan Mulvey, the outreach services manager. And we're now going to talk about an event called Tidewater Reads. Now, this event is not the first year we're putting this on, right?
Correct.
Okay. Give us a little history, I guess, of Tidewater Reads and what you guys are kind of looking forward to this year.
Yeah. Well, Tidewater Reads actually began in 2015.
Okay.
Essentially, it's a literary collaborative between multiple libraries and a couple organizations such as the Suffolk Art League and the Muse Writing Center.
Oh, wow, okay.
So we get together.
Taking a course there once.
Yeah, great. So our goal is to get the community involved in reading and discussing one book.
Okay.
And also doing a whole bunch of different activities associated with it.
Okay. So all wrapped around one book or multiple books or?
One book. This year we're doing something a little different.
Okay.
So we're focusing on one author,
Okay.
Kwame Alexander, who actually has a plethora of books for all age ranges.
Oh, really?
Hoping that we'll get the whole family involved.
You don't often see an author that can go from children's books to young adult to adult. So that's really cool that you guys have, chosen someone that could go kind of multi-generational across the spectrum.
Yeah.
So give us a little more about Kwame.
Well, Kwame does have a local flavor.
He does, okay.
He does have a local connection. He was a graduate of a high school in Chesapeake.
Okay.
So he is familiar with the area.
Oh, excellent.
And so we thought, okay, great. So he has a connection to this region, and he writes for multiple age ranges. And we were planning on doing our iteration of Tidewater Reads this year in April of 2018,
okay.
and we are doing it then. And that is also National Poetry Month.
Oh, okay.
And Kwame Alexander is a poet.
Oh, goodness.
The novels that he writes are actually in verse.
Oh, really?
A series of poems. So it just seemed to all fit
Yeah.
really, really well for our purposes. And then what was even more exciting is that we could actually get him here to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. So this isn't an event where you just put it out there and say families go ahead and read the books, and then you're kind of done. This is a thing where you kind of build events around the books, right, to get people engaged.
Correct.
Okay, and kind of talk about some of those events.
So we're actually kicking it off. Megan mentioned the month is April, but we're starting a little bit early with a poetry contest.
Okay.
So beginning February 26th, we're encouraging people of all ages to submit a piece of original poetry to our contest. So we have 5 age categories, and we'll be selecting as our library the top 3 from each category.
Okay.
To move on to the final round.
Oh, awesome.
So we'll be presenting the awards for the first, second, and third place winners of each category at our Kwame Reads, the main event, final event at the end of April.
Oh, very cool. So they can kind of be recognized at kind of a major kind of event at the end of the
With
Tidewater
Kwame
Reads event.
himself.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah,
During
there'll
the
be
presentation.
That's very exciting. I may have to enter myself, although I can't write a lick of poetry. So, but okay, so that's one event we got going, and then there's a whole bunch of other ones down here that I see.
Yeah, so we also, before April, we want to encourage people to start getting familiar with Kwame.
Yeah.
And one of the ways that we're doing that is by hiding one of his books around Suffolk.
Okay.
Going on a little bit of a scavenger hunt to find some free
So it'll be
titles.
clues and...
There will be vague clues.
Okay.
Yeah. We want there to be a little bit of a sense of a hunt, but then if you are just in one of the membering organizations, then you can find one of the books by surprise.
Will the clues be online, or how do we...
We'll be posting them on Facebook.
Yeah,
Okay.
There'll be some clues. But we're hoping to work with some businesses and just other schools and other organizations in Suffolk to just hide a book in maybe
very cool.
a restaurant
Yeah.
or a school.
So it won't just be municipal buildings involved, so you won't have to easily kind of check it off. We'll actually have to do some work.
Yeah.
That's great.
And so you can maybe happen upon a copy of Solo.
Okay.
Or a more surefire way to get a copy of Solo or any other copies of Kwame Alexander books is to come to the library.
Okay.
We have plenty. We've ordered extra copies of most of his books, and we'll be making them available, really easy to find on displays. So we're excited to get everyone familiar with this great author.
Okay. And so the poetry event, we've got the books, we've got scavenger hunts. Is there any other type of event you guys are working on? Now do you work with, you mentioned a poetry contest. It's all the libraries that are involved are getting the poetry.
Yes, so the poetry contest is for all the localities that are participating.
Yeah.
And then each locality will choose
their own top 3 or whatever, and then in each category.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, very cool.
We have a wonderful partner with the in the Muse Writing Center. They're actually going to take everything that we send them.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
do the final judging to get the first.
Oh, wow. Okay. So there won't kind of be like, you guys judging in-house, so you won't choose mine for the top prize. but that's great. And these are some of his books right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Solo is his most recent release within the past, 6 months or so?
I believe so. I believe it came out in June or July of this year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But another exciting part of the timing of Tidewater Reads is that a follow-up to one of his really popular books is going to be released in April. Actually.
Oh, wow.
So there'll be a brand new book emerging.
Getting ready to go. Okay, so you can kind of, if you haven't read any of them, you can kind of build your interest with them now, and then in April when the new book comes out, you can just keep following along.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's excellent. And so now, do you guys, in partnering, wide with other libraries and other organizations, do you all come up with your own kind of individual events for each city, or do you follow the same model across the board?
Well, we have some group events, like the main event with Kwame.
Okay.
And we actually have a Battle of the Bands
what's that?
event happening. That's,
Obviously a battle with some bands, but
well, Solo is actually about, it follows the story of the son of an aging and troubled rock star, who is a great musician in his own right. I have not finished the book, so you can't quote me on everything, but I've got
we don't want to know how it ends.
Spoilers.
Yeah, we don't want to know how it ends.
Spoilers. I'm still reading it. But what's so great about this is that it's really infused with this beautiful poetry and with music.
Okay.
And so we wanted to pull one aspect of that out and really expand upon it. And we have a great partner in the FM restaurant down in Norfolk.
Okay.
They're going to host this Battle of the Bands event for us. And we're excited that it's going to be free. Yeah. And that.
And can any kind of garage band join in, or?
Yeah.
So
really? Okay.
The actual event will be on April 5th at FM Restaurant, and we'll have 6 bands with 20 minutes of stage time each.
Okay.
So we're still in the process of figuring out which bands those will be.
So you kind of
we do have
auditioning bands?
We have an entry form online.
All right.
So if they go to our Tidewater Reads website, they can find that entry form under the events page and fill that out. And
You need to provide a YouTube clip or
some sort of clip would be great.
a track of what they sing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't
link
want
or
it to be a
description.
surprise.
At least not too much of one, right? All right, so that's one of the events that you guys kind of come together for. Are there any other?
We do have a poetry, prose, and pizza open mic night.
Okay.
That's going to be on.
You can test out your poetry before you submit it, right? To the contest.
Yeah. So we have that happening on the peninsula.
Okay.
In Newport News at the Downing Gross Cultural Arts Center. We've just have some wonderful partners with Tidewater Reads, really people that are opening up their organizations and their buildings to us. So we're really very, very excited about spreading this all over the region. So we have, this is a Poetry, Prose, and Pizza is an event that actually has been in Suffolk before at the art gallery. Nathan Richardson, who is a Suffolk resident, will be be the MC for the evening. And there will be pizza. And there will be fun.
There'll be poetry and prose.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to add about the Tidewater Reads event?
Yeah, so we mentioned April 28th is the main event where Kwame Alexander will be there, kind of as a nice end cap to the month on May 4th.
And is that open to the public? Or?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yes. And we have just a wonderful venue at the Slover Library. It's going to be a beautiful room, and it fits a lot of people. So we're excited about that.
Yes. But on May 4th, one of our partners, Suffolk Art League, they're doing a art reception and kind of a kickoff to their verbal to visual juried exhibition.
Okay.
So they'll be, I think, presenting awards, and it'll be a nice evening to view some of the artwork that artists submit for
Very nice.
Their exhibition.
Okay.
And everything is based on Solo. All of this work is based
kind
on
of the theme of that. Okay,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, there's going to be more.
Okay, okay. So it's kind of still a work in progress.
So you mentioned that the other libraries are involved. We come together for these large group events, but we do have individual things happening at the library, at each library. So we will be hosting a literary fest in April, actually with our partners at Paul DeCamp Community College. There will be some opportunities to learn how to write poetry and poetry workshops. And if you've been a part of our Adventure Book Club, you'll be excited to see that we will be reading solo for that. What else? I think there's going to be more.
Yeah, there's just a ton of stuff.
Follow us on Facebook, visit our calendar. We'll have announcements about all of our Tidewater Reads related events at Suffolk Public.
So go online to your local community library and you can get involved.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you at home for joining us, and definitely head out to your local Suffolk library to get your copy of Solo so you can get involved in this year's Tidewater Reads event. Thanks for joining us.